Hey YouTube, what is going on? It is Jackster back with another video, and today we are top 55 in the world with this new Mother Witch bridge spam deck. I actually don't think it's really new. I say new because I haven't been using it for a whole lot of time. I actually picked it up this week because I maxed my Mother Witch finally. I've just been having so much fun with it. We're doing super well on ladder right now, a lot better than I have been with P.E.K.K.A. I'll try and get out some P.E.K.K.A. videos soon, but I've just been really enjoying other bridge spam decks. It's actually fun being able to beat recruits and Mega Knight E-Barbs and all those good stuff. So you have a lot of attack pressure with your cannon cart and your E-Barbs. Even though the cannon cart is slow, it's still a very threatening presence up at the bridge. And then you have the bandit to come in and help attack those units as they're on their bridge battle. You send in the barbell, you send in the heal spirit, everything gets healed up. Mother Witch turns everything into a pig, and that is how you're going to collapse under their tower. You're going to be using the Mother Witch a lot to really just be a catalyst for your push. You'll get a bunch of piggies out, and then you'll go same lane if they don't have great answers like a mini P.E.K.K.A. to all the swarm, or you'll go opposite lane if they have stuff like a Mega Knight or E-Barbs that you don't want to play into. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into a replay here against Adele. So this guy, I actually knew what he was playing because I faced him yesterday and I really got destroyed. I think I almost got 3-crowned. This was a really difficult matchup for me to play yesterday, and I made a lot of mistakes which ended up leading to him winning the game. So first off, we're just going to cycle the barbell. Always a good play to go heal spirit at the bridge, barbell at the bridge, or bandit in the back. Excuse me. And then we fireball the Mother Witch. Just get her out of the way. No Mother Witch. We don't like her. Especially we don't like that piggy that comes out of the barbell too. So he goes in with Royal Hogs. I go with E-Barbs. And it's difficult to place the E-Barbs so they get the best efficiency killing the Royal Hogs. With P.E.K.K.A. you can put it like one tile where you can basically put where it put the E-Barbs, and it will kill all the Hoggies in order if you time it correctly. So I thought he was going to Mega Knight this, but he doesn't have it in cycle. So we just go in for attack here, and nothing really comes of it. We don't get any value on top of the tower, and we just kill off his Zappies, and then we use a cannon cart to kill off the E-Barbs. So as you can see, we're about even on elixir here. He goes with a barbell, and that's going to put him down one. So here I just go with a, not a fireball, a barbell. I'm hovering my fireball in case he Mother Witches, and he plays it really late. He does not want her getting fireballed. So I'm like, okay, I'll take that. I'll just kill your piggy with mine, and then with my Mother Witch, and then I'll go ahead and turn your Mother Witch into a Hoggy as well. And he plays the Flying Machine in the middle. Flying Machine is annoying. I contemplate fireballing that, but I don't want him to go Royal Hogs again. Look how much damage he got the last time I did it. I want him to kind of just not have to do that yet. So I go in with an Ewiz, and then he goes in with Royal Hogs, but this time like he splits them really weird to pull the Ewiz. Ewiz gets a shot off, and this time they're in a different position, so my E-Barbs can be a lot more efficient targeting. And actually they're not very efficient, but we take much less damage this time around. So here, I'm getting ready to predict his Zappies, but I just kind of hold off. I thought he was, I just like had a feeling I shouldn't predict the Zappies there. So we go with the cannon cart low, and at this point I thought he had fireball. I don't remember him having the poison, but I think this poison is being used a lot more in this deck because it's able to counter like Lava Hound. You can actually win that matchup, I hear from the top players of the deck. So we cycle our heal spirit and we cycle our Ewiz. I'm not actually too opposed to this situation right now. We're looking pretty good, so we just fireball off this Mother Witch, and then I barbell in front to protect this cannon cart. Unfortunately, he gets off a nice Flying Machine, and we E-Barbs, even though it's going to be straight into a Mega Knight. Not the end of the world right now. He's going to have his E-Barbs selected, and then he goes in for Royal Hogs, I believe. We just cannon cart in the middle, attract the Flying Machine, and this cannon cart is going to be dead. I'm not going to commit elixir to defending it, and it actually pulls the Royal Hogs, which is so nice there to actually be able to pull those Royal Hogs and not take any damage. That was the deciding factor in this game. You're going to see in just a moment that if that hadn't happened and if I had taken all that damage, would have lost. So Mother Witch gonna get out a piggy, but it's gonna die to the E-Barbs. So then I go in with a low cannon cart, and then I also go in with a high barbell to turn this first E-Barb into a piggy so that it dies, and that's going to tank the second E-Barb for a cannon cart, and that's really good for us because the cannon cart now takes no damage. It's a much more threatening counter push. So we go with our Ewiz. I didn't mean for it to take damage, but it does take damage, and so I guess we're just splitting up our damage between the two troops to get a better counter push. I go in with a Bandit, and Bandit has kind of a weird targeting sequence there. And then here, we're just going to barbell to kill off the Zappy, and then we go with the Heal Spirit, and then we're just going to go with E-Barbs to kill off everything here. He goes in with some Royal Hogs. Actually, does he go in with Royal Hogs? Not here. So, good defense by us. That push is what killed me the last time he went Mega Knight E-Barbs, and I didn't defend it correctly. Unfortunately, Ebarb gets no hit on tower. That would have been really nice to equalize damage on both lanes. But we just cycle our Cannon Cart, and this is good. I like it when he splits 2 Zappies like that, because he's not going to be able to really effectively kill our Cannon Cart. He's going to have to Fireball Barbell it, and if the Cannon Cart doesn't move high enough, he can't do that. So then we can bleed, and then we don't have to bleed, and then we can go with our Mother Witch and just kill all the Zappies, as well as a Bandit, and have it engage on my side. So we split our E-Barbs as well towards him. He goes in for a set of Royal Hogs, and this is like kind of scary, but we do just keep the E-Barb alive. And then fortunately the Cannon Cart does die. But now we have 2 Mother Witches on the map. And then we go in for some E-Barbs in the left lane, thinking he was low on Elixir. He's actually enough to Mega Knight. But then we go in for a Bandit, and we're actually going to get a Heal Spirit on top of it. And we're just going to try and overkill this Mega Knight as much as we can. We don't unfortunately break through the Mega Knight. But now with 22 seconds left, I do have my Fireball. So we just Fireball it, and we hit the E-Wiz, or E-Wiz on top, and I was super worried there. And he's going to play his Poison for the first time. I'm just going to cycle around. We have the damage lead by over a Poison, over 200 HP. So as long as we just don't do anything stupid here, then we're going to be fine. So we go with our Fireball. Bandit does kill off the Mother Witch's Piggy. And then we do go with an E-Wiz, the other Piggy of the Mother Witch, not going to get there in time. We have a very solid win of about 300 HP against a pretty difficult matchup. So I will see you guys in the next replay. Now here against NZT Fetty Sarah, Heart Sarah. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty obvious. He's got Graveyard, and we have Mother Witch. So you can probably guess how this one turned out. Maybe not exactly how you probably will think, but it did end up going along the lines that you'd probably expect here. So we're just chilling here. I'm going to make the first play in a second if he doesn't do anything, but he does end up playing the Flying Machine. So we're just going to Bandit in the back to tank this Flying Machine, and he's like, okay, if I Graveyard here, I trap the Bandit, Flying Machine locks. I say, I have a Mother Witch, and that is not what happens here. So he freezes the Mother Witch immediately, but the Mother Witch, I can just Barbell the Skeletons that were going to kill her, and then everything's tanking for the Flying Machine, and the Piggies are going to go ahead and get damage on tower. So he's really low on Elixir here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this Fireball on top of the Musketeer, and it's going to turn her into a pig, getting us a little bit of damage. Mother Witch does die, but it's not the end of the world. She already got us value. We defended his first Graveyard. Pretty easy, so I just cycle my Heal Spirit to get my cycle moving and to just not bleed. This is a really weird deck by him, but this guy is really good with Graveyard Freeze and the weird decks, and this is normally a really bad matchup for P.E.K.K.A because Delivery Log nukes a push. Prince is really great against it. Musketeer Flying Machine is just absolute horror to kill, and the Ice Golem Kite to wrap it all up in a nice little bow. And then you have to poison his Graveyard. You can't really use troops on the Graveyard because of the freeze, so you ended up taking up damage every time. So we just cycle our E-Wiz towards the Flying Machine. He lets it go. I let the E-Wiz go. I was considering protecting, but I was like, this deck seems so weird. I probably shouldn't make a play before I know before I know the entire deck. E-Wiz does reset the Prince and the Ice Golems in front. And I just go in with E-Barbs to protect the Bandit here. It's going to kill the Prince nice and easy. And then we're also going to force out the delivery because that E-Barb is going to take half of his tower, if not more, if he lets it go. So all in all, not a terrible trade there. We're just going to Barbell to the other lane. And I knew he didn't have like a Prince or an Ice Golem, so I knew the Barbell was going to kind of be weird, and then it frees me up to just cycle the Heal Spirit. Not too big of a thing, but it does get me some damage. We just Fireball the Flying Machine, considering that the Cannon Cart for the Musketeer. It's a slow rollable unit, and here I was getting a little worried because he's got a big push coming at me, and I basically have to sack this Cannon Cart. So we just Bandit the middle, he Ice Golems up the bridge, and then I just go with an E-Wiz in the middle. I'm fine with all what's happening here, and then the log, somehow this Musketeer locks onto the E-Wiz. I don't know how that's on the E-Wiz, but the E-Wiz does unfortunately die. However, the freeze does not last long enough. The Cannon Cart tanks so that the Mother Witch can start turning into piggies. And since he has to respond with so much in the other lane, we just go with our E-Barbs and then a Bandit. And he's going to go in with a nice Ice Golem Kite. But the Bandit's going to come over here and kill the Musketeer, which is really good because the Prince would have been super worrying if he had just been able to defend with it, and then he hadn't had to worry about the other lane. Here we Cannon Cart, because you can see, look at how awkward his cycle is. I just quickly Fireball the Flying Machine, and we get a lock on the tower, which is worth a bunch of damage, and then I also spam, because this Ice Golem is going to make a nice Bandit Chain Catalyst. He drops a delivery, but that's going to already be like 800, 900 damage extra on that tower, and we're sitting in a comfortable damage lead now. I don't really have to worry too much, because when he Graveyards, he has to freeze my Mother Witch. Otherwise, it's going to turn his graveyard into like 12 pigs. We've all seen that happen. But what that does is it frees me up to play an Ewiz, which will counter the entire graveyard until the Mother Witch is out of the freeze. Here he goes in with a graveyard, and he didn't have enough elixir for a freeze. It's just free piggies for me. We have what, like 4 piggies coming down. Flying Machine dies. So since I have those piggies, always since I have the piggies as like a catalyst for him to defend, I have to go in opposite lane just to split his resources up. Here it doesn't work out. Delivery does a really good job, but he has to Prince our bandit, which is good for us because now he's going to have to keep spending elixir. He's not able to go in for, you know, a classical graveyard push here where he could normally if he didn't have to spin the Prince. Prince does get a charge, and I was kind of worried here. I kind of screwed that up, but he gives me the fireball value on top of the Musketeer. And then he goes in for a graveyard, and here you're going to see it. Mother Witch in the back, he has to freeze it. I bandit on top of the Ice Golem. Ewiz comes down, kills all the skeletons. We took like 1 skeleton hit so far, and then the Mother Witch comes out of the freeze and turns it into 3 piggies. Look at this counter push. Perfect example of how to defend a graveyard with this deck, and how to play around it. We get the bandit on tower. We're splitting up our damage. That's fine. We're playing a bridge spam deck. Opposite lane pressure is not the end of the world. We bait out his delivery here, even though the bandit would have died. And then I have to cycle my Ewiz here because the Musketeer is in a really awkward position. He goes Flying Machine Graveyard, and I almost choked this here. What was that cannon cart, man? We do space it out from the freeze, and I just barbell, but I don't have my Ewiz in cycle to reset it until the Flying Machine until now. And here, this could be kind of bad. We have 10 seconds left. If he gets off another graveyard here, I could be in trouble, but he's too busy defending. We just Heal Spirit, and then we Fireball. The Bandit and the cannon cart and the Piggies are all doing work. Everything gets on tower. We end up taking the other tower down to 27 HP, winning off tiebreaker. Definitely not a very good defense at the end. I really should not have even had it within like 1,000 damage there. But it does show you how you want to play this deck against Graveyard, and how you want to use the Mother Witch, not only just to spawn the piggies, but also to give yourself an easy Graveyard defense, because the freeze only lasts 4 seconds while the Graveyard lasts 10, so you're going to get some piggies no matter what. And then our next game here against Sofiane Jr., playing Giant Double Prince, and I wasn't sure what this matchup would be like while I was playing it. I didn't know he had Giant Double Prince to start with, but I figured it out pretty quickly. And I was not paying attention. I didn't realize I had gotten into a game. I was looking at my other computer screen, and I was actually, hold on, let me see if I can find the pencil. I'm learning to do pen tricks, because I like to fidget while idle, and I was practicing one of the pen tricks. I think it's called the thumb around. So if you guys know anything about pen tricks, just comment down below. I mean, I don't know, that was really weird, but like, if you enjoy doing it as well, comment down below. So we just tank the Heal Spirit so the Prince doesn't charge onto the cannon cart. I'm fine with him zapping it. Now we just have the cannon cart to tank the Mega Minion hit, and it's a building. It's going to lock down that tower, and we just barbell opposite lane to get out his Dark Prince or his Ewiz. Neither of which is going to be a great trade, but he's going to make it anyway because he doesn't want to take that damage. So cannon cart there, going to take off the Mega Minion swipe. Mega Minion does kill it, but that's not terrible. The cannon cart wasn't going to get any value anyway, outside of killing that Mega Minion. Bandit's going to come down, and then I Mother Witch just really high here to kill this miner and turn it into a pig, as well as to continue my cycle. This is really awkward to defend both of the princes, because you have to be really wary of their fireball. If they fireball your Ewiz forward, then the prince can charge it without getting reset, and it's really difficult to defend the prince. So we're just being really careful about the prince here, and we're going to end up letting the cannon cart just die every time, because cannon cart, it's fine if it dies, because then it shuts down that lane, and this time he doesn't zap it. So he just waits, and he's going to cycle a zap on the tower, get that extra damage. I don't know why he did it on that tower, not the other one, but he gets the damage. We just Ewiz to kill off the Mega Minion, because we do have our Bandit for his Dark Prince, and we're going to have E-Barbs for his normal Prince if he decides to go in. Here I was kind of worried, because if he Giants, then I might have a little bit of problems defending, but he just goes in with the Dark Prince, and so I go in for a high Mother Witch as well. This is a really good defense for me, because this Dark Prince is just going to die and turn into a piggy. And then I go opposite lane with the E-Barbs ASAP. We have a Piggy, we have the Mother Witch, and we have the Bandit. It's a very nasty combo here, especially against Princes. And so we just E-Barbs, and he has to kite everything into our into the E-Barbs and the Mother Witch. Giant does not turn into a Piggy, unfortunately, but we go with a high cannon cart. And we also Ewiz trying to spread out from fireball value, and you can see he hesitated, he doesn't take it, and he has to place that Dark Prince. So here I just go in with a Bandit Barbell, because his fireball is going to have to be really quick reaction. I mean, he actually hits it, but he misses the Barbell, which would have tanked for my Bandit. And here we can just go with the Mother Witch, turn this into a piggy. We're always going to be applying that tiny amount of pressure, just because sometimes it's going to force him to make a weird play that he doesn't want to make, just because he wants to defend the piggy, especially as we get later and the game becomes more damage conscientious. You have to be super careful about any damage you take. This goes with all giant double prince matchups against bridge spam decks. You have to be super conscientious of damage, because a damage lead is what's going to end up winning or losing you the game. It's probably not going to come down to actually outright whole tower victory. It's going to be the damage lead. So since he uses the fireball, we're just going to stack up, and then we go E-Barb's opposite. In this matchup, it's key to go E-Barb's opposite to avoid giving him spell and prince values. Princes could do really well if I don't split up my attack. Here, though, the E-Barb locks onto the tower for 2 shots, which gives me a nice damage cushion. We just go with the high cannon cart, kill off this giant. We do get a piggy out of him, which is cool, but the prince is already on the cannon cart anyway. We barbell, and then I go with an Ewiz high, and he has to basically let the bandit connect. And this was really bad here for me. He gets a really nice push up high. That was not good. So we cycle our heal spirit to get some damage on the miner to get into our bandit as well. And we're going to have a nice defense, nice-ish defense. We took too much damage off of that. Just not very greatly played by me there. I should have not gone in with that high Ewiz. It's too aggressive. And then I go with the barbell, and he prediction fireballs my Mother Witch. That was a ballsy play, and it works out. Because if he didn't fireball there, then, or if he missed that fireball, then he could be in massive trouble. I can go and stack up a huge push. Here, though, we have to sacrifice the Ewiz, and now he's got a lot of elixir on his side of the map. We get the heal spirit damage, and then we just go with our E-Barbs here, and since he doesn't have his fireball back, immediately we can go with a Mother Witch in the middle. He screws up his zap on the bandit, and that was huge. That was the turning point of this battle right there. The bandit killing that prince, meaning I don't have to deal with it, was super nice. Now we have the E-Barb and the Mother Witch. I gave him too much fireball value again, but I think the bandit dashes through it. No, she doesn't, but I just barbell because the cannon cart's there. We get a piggy out of it, and we get the barbell out, which is super nice. And then we just go for a high Mother Witch again. Again, tanking for that. He doesn't have his fireball in cycle, so we just go in super aggressively. And now look at this push. We go with a bandit. We get the heal spirit off of her. Now there's a piggy on the mega minion. Piggy comes down. We go with another high cannon cart. He's struggling right now. He's trying to catch up with my spam, but he can't do it. Fireball comes down. We just go with our E-Barbs, but we have to get the damage here. Cannon cart locks onto the tower, but the Ewiz comes down, and then I just completely whiff a fireball, but it hits the miner, pushing it out of the way. I didn't even hit the tower. The E-Barbs lock on, and that's going to be all she wrote for this match. Tiebreaker win again, and we were trying not to take too much damage the entire match. You can see we were defending everything. We weren't letting much go until the very end when we had the chance to attack, and then we blew the game wide open. Another plus 34 in the book. Did I hit play again? Don't tell me I hit play again. Okay, great. And then the next matchup I want to show is against Hogs Recruits. I think this matchup is a little bit more difficult than the one you saw, and probably a little bit more meta than the one you saw. He has Musketeer from the Mother Witch, though probably not having the Mother Witch max. She's still the newest card in the game, so some people don't have her maxed. I cycle a bandit. He goes opposite lane with the E-Spirit, and I try and activate my king, but I whiff. Nobody talks about that. So the bandit comes down and gets on top of the barbell, which ends up killing it, and then we heal spirit, healing up the barb and killing the musk, which keeps our cannon cart alive. And so here I don't pressure with it. The cannon carts are really low on HP. He's going to have some sort of counter to it. I just prefer to wait for that counter to come out. Then we go with our E-Barbs in the back, just as far back as we can put them so we can kill the brawler. And at this point I wasn't exactly sure what he had. I thought he might have had RG because the Musketeer isn't normally played in this deck. But once he plays the Recruits, I'm like, okay, he's got the Mother Witch subbed out for the Musketeer. So I cycle my bandit towards the right because I want to Mother Witch the Recruits. The Mother Witch is going to give me a lot of value here, because it turns that into a piggy and it's going to tank. And he goes with a fireball, and I'm like, okay, he just wasted so much elixir there. That was way too aggressive. So he comes with the zappies, but the heal spirit comes down, and we just spam. We eat the Recruits, and we're going to get everything on top of the tower. Bandit dashes through. I'm hovering my bandit. I'm like spam tapping it right there. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. The bandit of our own doesn't even dash, but we do get a secondary dash on tower, and then it's going to go ahead and kill most of that Musketeer to the point where I can ignore it. So I ate the 2 Recruits after he fireballed, because I knew it was an overcommit, and I knew he didn't have his cage, which is like the only thing he could defend it with and cycle. And so here I just E-Barbs at 0, knowing that he's not going to be able to afford his Recruits before the E-Barbs take the tower. And he's going to end up having to go in with an E-Spirit. He tries to pull it, but the E-Barb barely stays in the correct lane. And now look at this. We force out Zappies. Now we have a large elixir advantage. And so those were very good E-Barbs. They forced out 9 elixir in response to 6. So I just go with a Mother Witch. We're going to turn one of the Zappies into a piggy. And then, actually, we turn both of them into a piggy because the Mother Witch gets off a shot, but one of the piggies is killed by the fireball. And then the cannon cart gets speedy pushed by the piggy. I actually didn't know you could do that. I try and overwhelm this cage, and then I go in with a bandit here just to get on top of the brawler, and we force out zappies. And here we're just playing really passively. We do have the luxury of just waiting here. We don't turn that zappy into a piggy immediately. I just go with the high cannon cart. I was really wanting to turn that into a piggy, but we fail. Because if you turn it into a piggy, well, all I need is one nibble or two to get 70 damage on that tower and get it to fireball range. And then I try and barbell this cannon cart. It doesn't end up working out. He goes in with an E-Spirit, gonna fully counter, and now we're just playing the waiting game. As long as I don't throw and get too aggressive here, we're gonna be able to easily defend this deck. And he has 2 recruits now, so we just go with the cannon cart, and then we cycle our E-Spirit, or Heal Spirit. I didn't actually mean for it to tank for the Musk, but it worked out perfectly because it healed up the E-Barb, and it like kept the Musketeer from shooting it for a little while. And he goes in with a Barber on top of the E-Barb, and we get 2 E-Barb shots, but that's not the tower that I really care about. So he goes with the Musketeer, and at this point, that's like Fireball value on the weak side. I'm going to split E-Barbs first, and then we're going to take this Fireball. Because I know as long as I Cannon Cart and cycle quickly and Bar Barrel his entire push, he won't be able to break through before I can cycle back. So we go with our Cannon Cart in the middle, I think. And you go with that Cannon Cart to just tank for the lower side. We go with a Bar Barrel. I was going to ban it, but we just E-Wiz just to make sure everything gets stunned for a moment. And E-Wiz does its job. He would have taken tower right after that, but I had the Fireball anyway. We just used it on the push if we couldn't get the tower. And that's going to be a really nice game there against Hogs Recruit. So you see, like, this matchup with any Bridge Spam deck requires such a good understanding of Elixir. I was able to understand when he Fireballed that, he was way too low to defend, and he had a weird cycle as well. So we were just able to spam, and we took like 3/4 of his tower. So let's see, what do I want to show here? I'm contemplating this loss. I think we'll show a loss here against Lava Hound, and this loss was due to human error here. I actually probably could have defended. Well, you'll see what happens in a moment. So I just go with the Mother Witch to kill the Tombstone, get 2 piggies off onto the Tombstone, which will kill it, and then I go with an E-Wiz up high, and I Heal Spirit as well, and we get 3 piggies off of the Mother Witch. Actually, we only get 2. Now we get a 3rd, and then E-Wiz kills everything. Heal Spirit comes down and heals it up. He's got a zap, and I just Barbell really quickly. So very nice start to the game there. We screwed up his cycle, and we're going to get some nice Barbell damage. So I know I have like a slight Elixir advantage because he just like spent so much to kill that. And so I just go with our Bandit in the back. We're up a nice amount of damage, but against Lava, damage isn't really going to matter. Because usually, when you face Lava with a Bridge Spam deck, it's going to be all-out tower trade. So I just Cannon Cart knowing he doesn't have an amazing cycle, and if I help, the Bandit will get through. Then I go with a Mother Witch, and he Fireballs it immediately. And I know he's low, but I didn't really think I could punish him because he's only like 1 card away from his guards. I thought he actually had his guards at this point, so I was like really just like, alright, we're just going to Bar Barrel, let it go. And so I think, let's see, do I E-Barbs here? I think I E-Barbs Bandit here. Okay, I actually do E-Barbs Bandit here. So I knew with the E-Barbs Bandit that I could break through the guards, but he goes with a nice Inferno Dragon there to cycle to his guards. And then he goes with a Tombstone. So the good thing here is we're making him spend a ton of Elixir. That is good because he's never going to be able to Lava if he's spending so much Elixir. And so here he thought I was going to E-Wiz the Inferno Dragon. I was prepared for that contingency though. I had a contingency plan. So we go with an E-Wiz and we pull back the Inferno Dragon, getting a Cannon Cart lock. Very nicely played by me there. That was a really great sequence. I was just like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, if I E-Wiz and he balloons, and then if I E-Wiz, he's probably gonna balloon, and then if I Fireball it and then he zaps, he gets a shot on tower. So just go with the Bar Barrel Heal Spirit. We do get the Heal Spirit on top of the tower. We almost heal up the Bar Barrel, but I just go with the Bandit trying to get out his guards here. And now this is where the game falls apart. I don't end up taking this tower. You saw from the result, I don't even get this tower at 100 HP. I try and like apply just a little bit of pressure, and then we're going to try and go around and defend here. And he goes in with a Mega Minion, and this should have been really easy. I should have just Fireballed both of those, but I missed the Mega Minion. And that's going to cost me the game here, because now the Cannon Cart dies to the Tombstone at the bridge. I don't have anything to break through this guards, except the Mother Witch, and that's not enough damage. And then I don't have anything to kill his push now because I didn't kill the Mega Minion. I could have defended that tower, the very minimum, set up myself up for a nice double lane counter push if I had just killed the Mega Minion. So we go with the high Inferno Dragon, or high E-Wiz trying to kill this Inferno Dragon turned into a piggy. We do, but it's going to be too little too late. Bandit comes in, Heal Spirit's wasted, I go with a Barbara, but he's got his guards in cycle, and we ended up losing the game there. So if I just hit the Mega Minion with the Fireball, that would have pushed it into my E-Wiz. My E-Wiz double shots and kills the balloon and the Mega Minion before the balloon takes the whole tower, giving me more time to set up a push. And if I had just set up a push right after that correctly, using like just not having to worry about desperately trying to take the tower, we would have been able to take his tower, and if he took mine, then I could have already had a head start on a second one and probably won the game. So those are going to be the 4 replays I share with you guys for this deck. Keep an eye out for more of this. I might just play some P.E.K.K.A for some video and then probably finish the season with this. Going to try for a top 200 with whatever deck I play. I've been going for that for like 6 months now, but we'll see. The soccer season ends like the last week of soccer is the last week of the season, and that's also the last week of school. So next season, I should be able to get everything going out with the grind. Also going to be nearly maxing my account. Let me scroll down. We have 93 cards maxed on the account. Oh my god, I can't scroll. 93 cards maxed on the account. This is all I have left. This should be maxed by late this season, early next season. Then we book this. And everything else maxes with the gold. So I'm super excited for that. A lot of decks that I can do like deck request streams. It'll be a very fun time for you guys. So I'm really excited. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.